The Anatomy of Absence, Understanding the Silent Psychology of Attraction. The human mind is a master of compartmentalization, capable of navigating complex daily schedules, professional demands, and social obligations simultaneously. Yet beneath the surface of routine, productivity lies an emotional undercurrent that dictates where our attention naturally drifts whenever a quiet moment arises. In the landscape of romantic psychology, the ultimate marker of a profound, emotional connection is not necessarily how a person behaves when they are standing directly in front of you. Rather, it is how your existence echoes within their mind when you are completely out of sight. When a man develops deep feelings for someone, his thoughts cease to be entirely his own. Instead, they become heavily anchored to the image, the voice, and the memory of the person who has captured his interest. This mental preoccupation is a powerful, almost involuntary phenomenon driven by a complex mix of brain chemistry, emotional longing, and subconscious habit. However, because men are often socialized to mask their vulnerability or maintain a facade of casual independence, this constant internal focus rarely manifests as an outright dramatic confession. They might not always send a text explicitly stating, "I have been analyzing your smile for the last 3 hours." But their subconscious mind will inevitably find subtle, undeniable ways to leak this information into the physical world. Human behavior is deeply tied to internal focus. Whatever dominates our mental space will naturally influence our habits, our communication patterns, and our digital footprints. When a man is navigating his day, whether he is sitting in a corporate boardroom, driving home through heavy traffic, or scrolling through his phone in the dead of night, the thoughts he harbors about you will create distinct behavioral ripples. These ripples are the hidden signs, a series of quiet, consistent clues left behind by a mind that is entirely preoccupied with your presence. Recognizing these hidden signs requires a shift in perspective. It means looking past overt declarations and instead focusing on the subtle shifts in timing, the hyper-retention of minor conversational details, the involuntary linguistic mirroring, and the magnetic pull of digital interaction. These behaviors represent a subconscious bridge built to close the physical gap between two people. When a man treats your preferences as high-value data, mirrors your text formatting, or reaches out during the unguarded, quiet fringes of the early morning, he is revealing that you are his mental default setting. Understanding this dynamic offers a profound look into the mechanics of modern attraction, proving that true emotional intimacy isn't just built during the high-energy moments of a face-to-face date. It is quietly cultivated, reinforced, and sustained in the silent spaces of separation, where absence does not cause the heart to wander, but instead forces the mind to constantly seek its way back home to you. The instant reply blueprint. When a man is constantly thinking about you, his phone ceases to be a distraction and becomes a direct lifeline to your presence. The speed of his text responses isn't just about technical availability, it is a psychological indicator of where you rank in his mental hierarchy. If he replies almost instantly, it reveals that your conversation is his primary focus, and he is likely keeping his phone close, precisely because he is anticipating your next message. He doesn't play communication games or strategically delay his answers to seem busy. Instead, his immediate engagement demonstrates an underlying eagerness to maintain a continuous, uninterrupted flow of connection. By prioritizing your messages over whatever else is happening in his immediate environment, he subconsciously signals that his thoughts are already anchored to you, making the physical distance between you feel entirely irrelevant. Shared micro-moments, sending random memes and links. When you are not around, his daily experiences are constantly filtered through the lens of your connection. Sending random memes, specific links, or short videos throughout the day is a definitive sign that his mind is actively associating external stimuli with your personality and shared humor. He might see a funny clip, a specific news article, or a relatable quote, and instantly feel a compulsive urge to share it with you. This behavior indicates that even when he is occupied with his own routine, work, or hobbies, your presence remains a persistent background track in his mind. He is essentially looking for excuses to bridge the physical gap, wanting to experience the world alongside you in real time. These small, spontaneous digital interactions prove that he doesn't need a formal reason to reach out. Your existence is already woven into his daily stream of consciousness. The saw this and thought of you anchor. This behavioral sign is a powerful testament to your lasting impact on his thoughts. When a man explicitly states that an object, a specific song, a particular place, or even a random aroma reminded him of you, it shows you have established a strong emotional anchor in his mind. His brain has mapped out specific triggers that immediately call your image to the forefront of his awareness. This goes beyond casual recollection. It means your preferences, quirks, and unique traits are deeply embedded in his memory. Whether he passes a coffee shop you love or hears a melody you once mentioned, the immediate mental leap he makes back to you proves that you are a dominant force in his subconscious mind. He is actively processing his surroundings through the context of your relationship, keeping you vividly alive in his thoughts even during completely mundane moments of his day. Subconscious recalls of minor conversations. A man who thinks about you when you are not around will consistently surprise you by remembering the absolute smallest details of past conversations. He might bring up a casual comment you made weeks ago about a childhood pet, key specific fear, or a random food craving you casually dismissed. While average listeners forget the fine details of everyday chatter, his mind treats your words as high-value data. He actively stores and replays these details in his head when he is alone, turning simple comments into meaningful insights about who you are. This exceptional retention level shows that he pays deep, deliberate attention to your voice and perspective. When he references these tiny, obscure pieces of information later on, it serves as undeniable proof that he has spent significant time mentally processing and reflecting on your words long after the conversation ended. Unexpected midnight or early morning check-in. The timing of a person's communication speaks volumes about their internal world, and messages sent during the fringes of the day are incredibly telling. Receiving an unexpected text from him late at night or the very moment he wakes up indicates that you are both his final thought before sleeping and his first thought upon entering consciousness. During these quiet hours, the noise and distractions of the busy workday fade away, leaving the mind to drift toward what it truly values and desires most. By choosing to spend these intimate, unguarded moments connecting with you, he reveals that you are his emotional safe haven. These check-ins are completely free from the tactical motives of daytime scheduling. They are pure, instinctual expressions of a mind that naturally gravitates toward you whenever it is left to its own quiet devices. The digital footprint. Consistent engagement with old posts. When a man is thinking about you in the quiet hours of the day, he will often wander through your digital history to feel closer to your presence. Consistent engagement with your older social media posts, whether it is a sudden liker on a photo from last year, an unexpected view on an old story, or a comment on an archived update, is a definitive digital footprint of his focus. It shows that he isn't just passively viewing what pops up on his current feed. He is actively seeking you out. When he is alone and missing your company, scrolling through your profile becomes a way to learn more about your past, your style, and your experiences. This behavior reveals a deep curiosity and a desire to immerse himself in your world, proving that his mind is entirely occupied with you, even when there is no active, real-time conversation happening between you two. Dilated pupils and instant energy shifts upon reconnecting. The physical transition from being apart to being back in your presence offers a powerful look into his subconscious mind. If a man has been thinking about you intensely while you were away, his entire demeanor will shift the exact moment you reconnect. You will notice an instant surge in his energy levels. His face lights up, his posture straightens, and his pupils naturally dilate with genuine excitement. This immediate physical reaction is a direct result of chemical changes in his brain, which has been anticipating this reunion all day. He cannot easily fake or mask this sudden rush of enthusiasm. The sheer contrast between how he carries himself right before seeing you versus the moment you walk into the room serves as undeniable visual proof that he has been eagerly counting down the moments until he could finally see you again, mirroring your vocabulary and slang in digital text. When you occupy a permanent space in someone's thoughts, they will unconsciously begin to copy your mannerisms, even through text messages. If you notice him suddenly adopting your specific catchphrases, using your favorite emojis, or mimicking the unique rhythm of your texting style, it is a psychological phenomenon known as linguistic mirroring. This happens because his mind is constantly replaying your past conversations and analyzing your messages when you are not around. Because he spends so much time mentally engaged with your voice, your specific way of expressing yourself naturally bleeds into his own vocabulary. This subtle, involuntary adaptation is his brain's way of building a deeper subconscious alignment with you, signaling that your communication style has made a profound, lasting impact on his internal thought patterns and daily habits. Mutual friends dropping hints about his conversations. A man who is deeply infatuated with you will find it incredibly difficult to keep your name out of his daily conversations. When you are not around to talk to directly, his subconscious mind will look for the next best thing. Talking about you to anyone who will listen, you will often find out he is thinking about you when mutual friends drop casual hints, mentioning how your name just happened to come up or how he brought up a funny story involving you. He might ask them casual questions about your schedule, your well-being, or your upcoming plans just to keep the conversation centered on you. When a man constantly brings you up in front of his peers, it proves that his thoughts of you are so strong and persistent that they naturally overflow into his social life, making his feelings obvious to everyone around him. Protecting and maintaining your shared inside jokes. Inside jokes are the private currency of a relationship, and a man who thinks about you constantly will go to great lengths to protect and maintain them. When you are apart, he will frequently reference these exclusive jokes through quick texts or sudden callbacks that only the two of you understand. By doing this, he is actively keeping the unique spark of your connection alive and reminding you of the special bond you share. This behavior demonstrates that he treasures the private world you have built together and replays those funny, intimate moments in his head when he is completely alone. He uses these shared memories as a reliable mental bridge to stay connected to you, ensuring that no matter how much physical distance separates you, the light-hearted, exclusive closeness of your relationship remains fully intact and central to his mind. Subtle changes in his social media aesthetic or playlists. When a man is deeply immersed in thoughts of you, his internal world naturally begins to shift, and these changes often spill over into his digital spaces. You might notice him curating a new public playlist filled with songs that match your favorite music genres, or sharing specific aesthetic quotes and images that perfectly align with conversations you recently had, because he is spending his alone time mentally reviewing your interactions and processing his feelings for you. His creative and emotional outlets start to reflect your influence. He might not openly admit that a certain song reminds him of you, but the sudden appearance of tracks that echo your personal taste or emotional depth is a strong sign. It shows that he is using music and art to process his longing for your company, dropping subtle digital clues that you are the primary muse occupying his mind. The just hearing your voice phone calls. In a modern world dominated by quick text messages and casual emojis, a spontaneous, old-fashioned phone call is a massive indicator of deep mental preoccupation. When a man calls you out of the blue with absolutely no logistical reason, agenda, or specific question to ask, it is because texting simply isn't enough to satisfy his desire for connection. He will often open the conversation by admitting he just wanted to hear your voice. This behavior proves that while he was navigating his day, the thought of you became so intense and overwhelming that he needed a real-time, authentic connection to ground himself. Hearing your laugh, your tone, and your immediate responses provides him with an emotional comfort that a screen cannot replicate, showing that you are his ultimate source of peace and happiness when he is away. High-value memory retention of your favorite things. A man who spends his time thinking about you when you are apart will treat your personal preferences like absolute gold. He doesn't just remember the big milestones, he catalogues the tiny, specific things that bring a smile to your face. Whether it is the exact way you take your morning coffee, the obscure author you mentioned loving, or the specific comfort food you crave when you are stressed, these details are actively reviewed in his mind. When he is out shopping or planning a future hangout, he will use this mental archive to surprise you with your exact preferences. This level of attentiveness is only possible because he repeats these details to himself when he is alone, consciously planning ways to make you happy and proving that your comfort is always at the forefront of his thoughts. Unconscious physical proximity shifts in group settings. While this sign manifests when you are physically in the same room, it is entirely driven by the thoughts he has been harboring while you were apart. If a man has spent days thinking about you, the exact moment you enter a group setting, his subconscious mind will draw him toward you like a magnet. You will notice that no matter where the conversation starts, he gradually shifts his position to sit or stand right next to you. His body language will be completely oriented in your direction, and he will naturally direct his jokes eye contact, and stories toward you, seeking your specific validation. This involuntary physical pull is the direct result of the mental anticipation he built up while you were away. His body is simply acting out the closeness his mind has been craving, the hesitant, prolonged goodbye strategy. The way a man handles the final moments of an interaction tells you everything you need to know about how much he will think about you once you are gone. If he has developed a deep habit of keeping you in his thoughts, he will actively resist the end of your time together. He will use prolonged goodbyes, linger by your car, start entirely new conversations just as you are about to leave, or invent random excuses to stretch out the final few minutes. He is already anticipating the quiet void that happens when you leave, and his mind is trying to delay that transition for as long as possible. This hesitation shows that your presence is highly addictive to him, and the sweet, lingering nature of his farewell ensures that you will be the absolute dominant thought in his head the entire way home.